All right, guys. I honestly don't know. I think I remember I left off at the final video of getting off these gnarly gears here. I basically got back out here, cleaned up tools, drained the oil because it was still full. And I had to build a little nest for our camshaft and little bearing caps. I got that here. This basket actually is perfect because it has little, if I can actually lift it up. Anyways, it's like kind of goes like this. So the cam will fit in there, then I'll cover it. Obviously, the biggest thing when you're doing this, you do not want to mistake one for the other. They're actually marked, I think. So, you know, I wouldn't worry about it too much, but I definitely wouldn't. And of course, it's going to line up the right way, I think, is the main thing. So it's kind of hard to mess it up, but you just, as a rule, when you take stuff apart, you want to put it over in an area where it's exactly how you took it apart. There's no guesswork, especially with bolts. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and just zip this off and probably go ahead and take this head off. I almost want to do the other valve cover and the other cams first before all the weight is so different, so I'll probably do that, but no biggie. Either way is fine. I'm just thinking about it as I'm recording. Absolutely terrible videography. But once that head is off, this thing will be heavy on this side. And again, this goofy bolt is not doing the job because it's just pinching. And usually you'd have like at least 4 holes and it would be boom and you'd be able to lock it in place. This one does not do that. So we're just going to work with it. Like I said, I'll probably do what I first mentioned. And this is when everybody in the comments section is like, would you shut the heck up and just do it? Anyway, that's what you hear. That's what you came here for. All this fun banter. And one thing I was noticing too is all these little areas, all these little plugs. So I want to investigate those. None of them look like they're leaking. I know these are prone. These are just to access the connecting rod, wrist pins, and wrist pin little rings. Anyway, those can kind of seep oil. Anyhow, let's get this going. Rock and roll. All right, guys, I figured I'd just do a little recording. Normal, I was gonna do the time lapse. I usually do that, to be honest, to be able to listen to something, you know, on my phone, because that's what I'm using. But I need to like join the real world and like have a separate thing. So be very careful. One thing I was thinking about is, wait a minute. Okay, wow, oh, that pops off. Okay, I'm just noticing these are full caps. I'll have to pop off. Okay. Be very careful because this camshaft could just kind of roll off. So it's not going to go anywhere because I got to pop this cap off, I think. So I'm going to take this off, put it in my setup here. And this, I'm thinking the easiest way to get that off without my camshaft falling. I got my plastic hammer here, and we're going to there you go, Pop-a-roo. It's just held on by silicone, and this camshaft should come out as well. I got my seal I'm dealing with, of course. Okay, let's do this. There we go. Trying to do this. Boom. Okay. Goes right there. Obviously these lifters will fall out when I take the head off and turn it upside down. So more importantly, when I flip this thing over, which is again, well, I'm just gonna probably switch gears again, take this all off. I don't want these lifters to fall out, and I don't have a place to put them right now. So I'd rather just leave them in the head for tonight. So let's go on the intake side of things. And this is actually a stretch. You probably don't want to be using an impact at all. Just because, I mean, that's a low impact, if you will. Yeah. So it's a DeWalt, an old gun. I would not use anything else heavier. Not a big deal, but keep in mind this bearing cap, there's no actual bearings. It's literally just, you know, the smooth metal. Well, actually, yeah, I think so, yeah. I'm like looking at it, I'm like, well, maybe. Yeah, these ones do not, so I gotta keep track of what I'm doing here, guys. Alrighty. Humming the song I played today at church. I'm a drummer at our church. Actually, a lot of fun. Okay. Just wanting to hold on to that seal, which is a good thing. Boy, you'd be surprised how well that just stays in there. Okay, cool. This is how I wanted to do it too. I want to put the caps right over the top. Exactly how they came off. I'll show you what I'm looking at here in a minute. Boom. Now, let me show you. So of course we got our lifters just ready to slide out. I could probably take all those out again. Well, I probably could just lay them here, but this is my little carry case. I'm gonna mark these, of course, intake, and again, these fit only a certain way, so it's not that big of a deal. But again, just don't let your lifters fall out there, matey. Now, again, when you're untorquing these, you want to do them in order of the torquing sequence. It's, in my opinion, as long as you do it evenly in a general star pattern, you're good. There is an exact sequence that dealer recommends, so my official recommendation would be to look that up. I'm gonna get my torque wrench. I'm gonna wedge this engine stand against something because again, it's gonna want to turn. The best thing to do is, in fact, I'll probably put this straight up and down, so angle it straight up, and then be able to have a nice 90-degree angle perpendicular. That's gonna help a lot. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna get everything sort of reformatted, and again, we're just gonna go ahead and take this off there, matey. I bought a socket because that is a 12 point, I can't remember. No, it's saying it's a 12.13. So I actually need to find that socket. So that will be very important, yeah. I don't know what I did with it. Here we go. No, it is a 14. I need to find my 14. I need to find my 14. Where is it? Sorry guys, let me stop this video right here. I don't recall. I need to figure out what I did with that actually. Stop the press. Here's a 9/16. This is gonna be a little bit big. Yeah, I definitely need a 14. Alright guys, I am going to press pause until I can find my fabulous 14, as I've always called it. My fabulous 14. Oh, there it is. Alright, got it. Let's take a look. It's a 14 and it's a Evercraft top of the line. Kidding. And again, I think we'll start on this corner. These do need to be resealed. I'm going to leave those in for now. Well, machine shop don't want them. So let me take them suckers out now. Just don't break them now. I almost probably did. I need to be a little more careful. I'll take this bracket off before giving them to the machine shop, and of course remove the lifters. I might, I have an egg crate inside that I'm going to use for that. That'll be perfect. I don't want these to be rolling around. I want them to be, I don't want them to get those confused at all. Oh, wait a minute. I'm all wrong here, guys, because that lifter is right on top of the valve. I'm getting this confused with the, well, I think the lifter does come out. Let me see here. I don't know, guys. I'll look it up. Always double check my advice. I want to say these just ride on top of the valve. If I can recall, I think there's a tool to grab them. I'm not going to grab them with anything. Well, I have one idea. Well, I've got one idea. This is why I don't record regular, videos where I talk, because I'm not quite as organized as I need to be to really do a sort of a, there it is. So that comes right out. So I'm remembering how I did with the other one. So that's just a lifter cup that rides right on top of the valve stem. So we will remove these again when we're ready for them. We're gonna slide that right back into place. Can you believe how all this works? Such low tolerances, and metal to metal, just a little bit of oil. Things will run for a couple 100,000 miles. Absolutely incredible. All right, guys. I'm gonna turn this sucker off and get this engine stand right side up and get ready to untorque this thing. I'm gonna look up the exact specs too here. All right, y'all. I got my Subaru Legacy and Forester. Well, shoot, 2000 through 209. I just realized this is the wrong book. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this thing rolling here. I'm not getting much done. So the torque sequence when you're going together is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. Look it up online. I realized that the 99, I have a book that covers 85 to 96 and a book that covers 2000 to 2006 or 9. So I don't have the exact specs to show you, but it's a good idea. Obviously, you're usually tightening from in outward. And so when you loosen, you're loosening from outward in, just to make sure everything alleviates properly. You don't have like a weird warpage. Anyway, we're gonna get her done, get this thing torn apart the rest of the way. Probably not gonna film it. I'm just gonna get it done and film little bits and pieces as I finish. All right. All right, guys, in the last video, I was having my son help me crack loose the cam, basically bearing bolts, and it wasn't his fault. Some of my sockets are a little bit old, but we did end up rounding this one pretty good. I tried several times with vice grips. I tried heating up the bolt. It's basically perfectly round. So the only easy out type of thing I've got here, which I got from my dad, is this style. The better one that I wanted to try first was an actual, like a socket that goes over the 10, but it has this sort of stuff in it to where it basically can grab it. If I would have had that here, I probably could have already had it out after the first time it rounded. But of course, as I was messing with it, it got a little bit worse. So So we're gonna try to drill it out and basically, excuse me, putting the camera in the thing here. And basically try to hopefully salvage this. I don't think it's gonna be too difficult, but you never know with stuff like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start drilling. I do have the engine leaning in a manner to where I'm not going to get a ton of shavings. Well, never mind. It just reminded me, even if I'm taking the head off, I really need to be careful. Make sure I don't get any little shavings. You know, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but obviously, if you're wanting to be perfect, you'd get some tape. And I just want to at least cover the oil galleys, make sure that no shavings are going to get down to the bottom, because I actually do plan on taking the oil pan off because it's damaged, but I might not end up doing that. So we're going to drill the start. I already made a little pin punch toward it where I want to start. I want to make sure I'm nice and perpendicular, and make sure this stupid engine stand, which I'm sorry guys, thing's sort of a pile, but it's getting the job done. But I need an engine stand that locks in place and doesn't move like it will. All right, I'm gonna try to go as straight as I can. Of course, it's not even really where I want it, but that's fine. Try to do it in the center here. Come on, it keeps walking over that way. It's not terrible if it's not perfectly centered, but just doing that to get the hole started. Well, it is where it is. I'm not going to go deep enough to damage this bearing cap. So, in fact, if you want reference, I got my other one here. So, obviously I can go this far down without risking hitting. So I'll just keep an eye on that. Ideally is you go right down the center of the bolt, but of course I'm already a little bit off, so whatever. Let's hope this thing comes out. I'm gonna try to angle it back down here. All right, there you go. Try to center it a little bit more here. The key with drilling is nice and slow. Sorry guys, I don't know what the camera's doing here. I can't see it. Goofball setup. I'm so sorry. I didn't know they wasn't filming it. All right. This filming is a pain in the ass, to be honest, guys. All right, I hope this looks okay here. Trying to get some of those nice close-ups, you know. 1 second, guys. I'm so sorry. Alright, let's try that. I keep bumping it with my foot. Let's brighten it up a little bit. Alright, guys. Let's get in this bolt and get it out. Again, nice and slow. I'm just angling to get a better angle of approach here. There we go. Putting pressure on the drill and letting it do its thing. All right, now I should check where I'm at here depth-wise. Well, I'm just about through the head, so yeah, I just want to be careful. You don't want to get the air gun out and spray this everywhere to where it just goes everywhere. I don't think that's deep enough, so I'm going to keep going. And if you're worried about, you can always spray some WD-40 in there. thing with drilling metal, you don't want to drill fast because what happens is the tip heats up and it dulls right away. So do not drill quickly. All right, we're gonna put this in, see how much. We don't have a ton of grabbability yet. I'm gonna really try to figure out better how close we are. And again, if you mar up the top of this bearing cap, it's not a big deal. Obviously, all this thing is doing is holding this down. So if I happen to dig in a little bit onto this, it's sort of okay. I'll show you the other cap, and you'll see it when we get it out, Lord willing. The hole in the cap is a little bit larger than the bolt itself, seems like. That's what you want, those nice long pieces there. Oh, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's looking pretty dang good. That is nice in the center. Now, so my air compressor isn't here. All right, so how's that look? That's looking good. Again, I wish mine was a little bit brighter. Sorry, I'm making the adjustments as it's recording. Whoops, that's a little bit too much. Okay. All right, guys, sorry about that. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out a teeny bit and just see if this easy out will work. Obviously, the goal with this is you're tapping it in, and then when you spin it, let me see how deep we're going in here. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, so I know we're deep enough. Now I just gotta pray this works. I'm gonna tap it in. Alright, that's in as far as it'll go. I'm gonna heat this up a little bit. I'm gonna turn off the camera because it's gonna take a while. Because my little heater is super small, my torch. So I've got this torch here. I'm gonna heat up the head just to have that extra warmth to hopefully get it loose. If this doesn't work, obviously, you know, more drilling, a bigger easy out, but then we'd risk, you know, we're starting to get into the territory of, you know, not good, basically. Well, I'm telling you what, this thing is super tight for whatever reason. I have no idea why it's so tight. They shouldn't be that crazy. So I'm just gonna see what we got here. And I broke the easy out, of course, because it's a complete pile of shit. What a fucking piece of shit. I'm so sorry, guys. What a piece of garbage. Junk, junk, junk. That should have never happened. Now I'm basically screwed. Gosh, man, whoever put this thing together did something weird. That's just, there's no way ever that should be that tight. And I'm basically in a pickle now. I shouldn't have tried that style of easy out. I shouldn't have. I just, typically those work, but now, I am basically, I mean, what a complete shit show. Sorry, guys, I don't think this is a cuss on this channel, so I'm going to turn this off here. What a piece of garbage. All right, guys, over and out. All right, guys, the worst has happened. I drilled a hole, installed an easy out, promptly broke the easy out. I think the tool, it's a Cobalt brand, but pretty disappointed how fast it broke. I wasn't reefing on it that much. I probably should have used the bigger one, but honestly, that one probably would have broke too. This bolt is nice and on there. So what I've done here is I've taped everything around. I've got the engine completely covered up with towels, and most importantly, I've got the area around this completely covered. And I'm going to come and basically just grind down the head of this bolt very carefully all the way down to the bearing cap mating surface. Obviously, when I get close, I'm gonna have to be very, very careful. I don't want to dig into this cap at all because I can't just replace this cap. I might be able to, but this cap, the underside of it, is a bearing surface that is completely matched to the camshaft. And so to just replace this, I don't know if it's even possible. I'm sure it is, but we might have premature wear. We might have to get a new camshaft and all new bearing caps. And in that case, I mean, I don't know that's the case because the bearing surface on these actual heads is actually cast into the head. So I don't know how they do that, really. I honestly don't know. But maybe the new one would be okay. I don't know. But I'm going to pretend like these aren't available because they might not be. And I would do a time lapse, but I think I'm going to listen to some tunes and just check in. I'm going to be very careful, extremely careful. I've got two different grinding setups. I've got the big dog to take the bolt down, take the bolt head mostly off. I'm not going to use this because it's broken, but then I'm going to probably switch to my smaller one, a little less powerful, smaller disc, and it's going to allow for more control. And I do have, I hope, I do have more discs. I can even use this when I get close enough. And then, here we go. We got plenty of these, so. That being said, I'm going to get to work. And again, I actually filmed, I filmed the easy out process, but it broke and I just cussed up a storm, and I don't think I can post that in my video, so I can't really show that. But I basically drilled it. The drilling went really well with it. Anytime you're drilling metal, you want to go nice and slow. You want to center punch where you want to start, do it nice and slow. Everything worked great. The easy out tapped in. I even heated up the bolt head, but it's just too much, too tight. So anyways, let's get her done, guys. Yeehaw. All right, y'all, plan worked. As you can see, I dug into the bearing cap just a little bit. It's gonna be completely fine. It looks absolutely perfect. I'm gonna blow this off before I lift it up, but as you can see, I've got it free. I'm gonna get it out, get the camshaft out, and then my actual task is to actually get the stud out. And I think I'll have a lot better luck with that. Yeah, but I'm going to be very careful because, of course, that could break in the head if I'm not careful. And I'm probably going to get it a lot hotter with a better heat source on my little teeny torch. But, man, I'm so thankful. It's loose. Let me zoom out here. I realized I need a tripod. By the way, here's me with my cool mask. I need to get a tripod that can hold my lights and a camera, because man, I'm telling you, I love to film this stuff. Very lightly, I'm going to cover this hole. I'm going to blow off this. I got everything sitting here, so I want to be careful. Now, my job is to clean everything up. Obviously get this all apart. I'll probably do another time lapse. I'm going to get the towels off of there, get the bolts, get the rest of the caps off the cam, loosen up the cylinder head, hopefully find solid evidence of my leak. And then tomorrow I will address the bolt. Well, I guess I should address it before I unbolt the heads. So that's what I'll probably do. So anyway, we'll at least get the camshaft off and get, well, now that I'm thinking about it, I might as well leave everything taped. No, I want to just get the cam off, get this off, and I'll tape again. I was thinking I'll have to drill this bolt, but there's no point. I'll just get everything off, get all the important stuff out of the way, tape up the super important areas, and then have a bunch more room to work. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it and go back to time lapse. All right, guys and gals, I actually tried to lift the cat. I took everything off. I didn't record any of my last cleaning up. I said I was gonna time lapse it, but it was a couple days from then. I realized after I took everything out, I actually couldn't get the cap up off the stud, because even though it cleared this upper part down towards the bottom, there was a little bit of mushrooming from the grinding, and it would not let it go, and I couldn't grind anymore. So I ended up basically trying to lightly pry this out. I almost ruined it. I may have. I shouldn't have done that. And then I realized as I was wrestling with it that the stud was suddenly loose. So I put everything back together, did a smaller easy out, and here we are, basically finally able to get the rest of this camshaft assembly apart and get the head off and start tracking down parts. But I think it was actually the cap, the bottom of the cap of the bolt. It sort of melded to the aluminum, top of the aluminum thing, because the threads, you know, they came loose as I was trying to mess with the cap, and then suddenly I was like, wait a minute, the whole thread's spinning. So, meaning the threads were good to go, but I also did spray some penetrant lube in there. As you can see, it looks kind of wet, so, and I actually just sprayed WD-40, which is probably what that is. But anyways, to get my easy out, I gotta find another bolt. I'll show you what I did with this bearing cap. The camshaft is basically just sitting there. Let's see here. So right here, what an absolute moron. I'm hoping what I can do is, as you can see, the camshaft has some different ridges, very light ridges. Boy, those get more pronounced down here, don't they? Huh. This actually might be due for replacement anyways with the way that it looks. Because obviously I didn't just do that, but I did do this. So I don't know what the process is, because it's aluminum to, I'm assuming, a steel, polished steel cam or moly, whatever it is. And then I'm gonna blow this off before I take it apart. And then of course aluminum in the bottom. So I think the camshaft is a harder metal, and so I probably ought to be able to just replace this. But look at the ridging. I wonder if that's supposed to be like that, because here it probably is. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. It may be to help clear oil out. Very small channels, but I can't believe I did that. I'm hoping I can grind this side of it to where that edge just disappears, but I'm gonna have to polish it. I'm gonna talk to my dad to see if it's something we should mess with. And I'll probably call Subaru. Well, I don't know how informative they're gonna be, but yeah, I messed up. So, trying to go too quickly. I had a towel in between the head and this, and I was just trying to pry it up to see if it would move, and I got carried away because it just about came out. And then as you can see, bit of a ridge there, I guess. No, it's just dirt and stuff. It just kind of chokes down at the bottom here is what's going on. As you can see, you can even see it. Look, there it is. Literally a larger opening up top. So anyways, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna blow this off, get everything apart, get the head off, and then I gotta remember that this goes like this, even though it's completely ruined. And of course I can see where it is because I grinded on it. Oh boy. All right, guys. I'm trying not to break more parts as I get this thing the rest of the way apart. Here we go.